Alrighty then, quick disclaimer before you say, oh, well, this is just the anime highs and lows episode with only highs. No, we have rules. What are the rules, Brad?
So the rules are, we're going to talk about some shows that we wish had more content. So that means we're not going to talk about any ongoing shows, no bullshit like, I wish there was more One Piece. Like, bitch, there's more One Piece, go watch it. We're not going to talk about any shows that have a declared season 2 or like expected next season. Like, I wish there was more JoJo's. Like, bitch, part 6 is being worked on. Hold your dick in your pants.
Okay.
And we're not going to go over any shows that, like, well, that would also be a planned exercise. So no saying, like, I wish there was more B-stars. Like, Netflix is going to get it there next year. Just hold on.
Oh. Well, then, let me just take a few things off of my list.
Are you serious?
Just a tiny little bit.
Oh my god.
Only one.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
And nothing. So yeah, we're gonna pick shows that unfortunately will not have a continuation season. Or if they do, then it's gonna be like in production hell and it's not absolutely confirmed.
Or they just haven't been announced and it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. What if we make that the intro?
Please do not. Don't do this fucking shit. Craig, don't do it. All right, let's start let's do this thing.
この瞬間この場所がスタートイメージしてみよう何ができるのかな信じられない出来事だってあるもっと超えてゆけるね
Hi. Welcome to the Otaku Melancholy podcast, the podcast that is always here with support, kindness, encouragement, and troubleshooting, or at least until the Ramune runs out. My name is Matt, and I will not be getting a second season of my life.
God damn it, you took my bit again. that was gonna be my line. What the fuck? And I'm Brad. And I will be getting a season 2, but it's gonna be done by a different studio, and it won't be as good as the first.
Killer Matt has already touched that opening.
Fucking hell.
Alrighty. I hope you didn't skip the opening, because if you did, then you missed vital content.
Yeah.
Normally, the opening is just a shitty little skit that I write in 30 seconds, but this time, it was important.
It was lore.
It was
lore for the episode.
You needed to listen to that, because if you didn't, now you're just gonna think we're just talking out of our butts. I mean, like, aren't we usually?
So anyways, you can read, so you know what this episode's about.
Maybe whoever titles these episodes might be making the title at like midnight again, and it's something stupid.
But... we've been speaking from a place of privilege. Maybe we'd have listeners who can't read, like me. So, what this episode is going to be, we're going to be talking about some shows that we enjoy, that we wish we had more of. And yeah, go ahead.
And here is my personal thing before we talk about this and go into it. I love Gurren Lagann, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think Gurren Lagann needs more fucking episodes. So this is not, like we said earlier, it's not going to be the anime highs and lows again, because I think a lot of these shows, the shows on my list are my end, are shows that needed more stuff or needed more episodes but didn't get it. Like, I love Steins Gate. You know, it's in my 10, but did not need Steins Gate 0. I did not need that.
Yeah. There's a big difference in like, we'll say that we wish we had more of a show, but artistically we understand that there cannot be more of this show without degrading the quality.
Yeah. I mean, you can't have a certain character die and then come back in the movie just to get more content, right?
Right.
That's stupid. Only an idiot would do that. I mean, what kind of code would that require? What rebellion would undergo for someone to think that that's a good idea?
Someone would have to be under the influence of Gios to make a stupid decision like that.
Although I do understand that sequel movie is in a different universe, but I'm a bitch about it anyways.
Yeah. So we aren't going to talk about like any shows that have a artistically solid conclusion.
Yeah.
Like I would like to see more Cowboy Bebop, but I understand that it's reached its conclusion and it's not going to be sound to bring that back.
Yeah, and I also, while I do really enjoy, I really enjoy Code Geass, I'm not going to just declare we need more because that story's done. The story's done.
The story is fini.
It is wrapped the fuck up.
It is laid to rest, so to speak.
It is fucking over. Anyways, so that's what it's going to be about. Hopefully we'll be... I put where you can watch my shows at because I do want some of these shows to be talked about more. At least one of them.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that. So that's what it's going to be. I guess we'll just have a little back and forth. A little back and forth.
And we'll do like a little rock, paper, scissors to figure out who goes first.
Okay, I play rock.
I play paper.
Okay, best 2 out of 3. You go first.
I play scissors.
Okay, I play rock.
Damn. Last one.
Okay, let's just... What the fuck would you say rock, paper, scissors when we're voice only?
No, we're tied up. We got one more round. Throw your fist.
I don't... Okay, can we just announce it at the same time?
No, just announce yours. It's your turn.
Okay, I play paper.
I play rock.
What the fuck?
What? Did I lose? What do you mean I lost?
We're a fucking shitpost of a podcast. How did I lose? He played rock. It was all lined up. Is this the power of Ultra Instinct? All right, let's get into it. Let's deep dive. So, I don't think we have concise lists, or I don't know like how long our lists are each. I think mine's 8.
Mine's
8.
7 to 8.
Yeah, mine's 8, 8.5. So
how the fuck do you have half an anime? Get to that one first.
I don't wanna. Okay, well, actually, I'm just going to go in with the half one. So my first one that I want more, and it is a big guilty pleasure of mine. I don't know if we've talked about it before. We might have talked about it, but my first one is Gantz.
Gantz.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, Matt, isn't Gantz kind of crappy? And I would say, yeah, it is kind of crappy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I love it. It is extreme. It is off the walls. It is absurd. And the thing about Gantz that makes me want more seasons of it is that it does this thing that some of my other shows might do, and that's that they end on a buffer. They end on the manga was still ongoing, but this isn't 2020 where these studios are saying, yeah, I can make more. I'll just end this on the arc,
Yeah.
and I'll come back to it later if the DVDs and Blu-rays sell well and I get if I get the money to make it. Gantz said at like the halfway or the 3/4 mark, or from the very beginning, actually, it introduced original characters that were going to tie into the ending. So it knew it wasn't going to have that, that second season or that third season that it wanted, because I guess it's split into 2 cores technically.
Yeah.
So, and there is the Gantz movie, Gantz Zero, that is on Netflix if you choose to watch it. And it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's a damn good looking show.
But
I want more of a conclusion to Gantz. I want more Gantz because it is over the top. It is very immature in a lot of the ways, and it's kind of something like a really weird thrill ride for me. It was one of the first anime I discovered by myself, and that I watched it, and I said, this is anime. This is... Whoa. And again, I want more of it. I want more of an adaptation of the actual manga to show some of the after effects of the third arc, which is where things get off the rails and where you get an anime only ending. I wanted to pick up and sort of do like a Full Metal Alchemist and just say, hey, that's fine, that happened. Especially because, that author did get his other work, Inuyashiki, brought over as an anime. And I don't know how that ended, but
yeah,
that also was an interesting ending. But Gantz, I picked for my first one because it was one of the earliest anime I picked out. And again, it just is so trash, but also it's like a donut. It's trash for you, but it's good. And that's why Gantz is on my list. What about you, Brad?
Okay, so my first one is going to be Hoseki no Kuni, or Land of the Lustrous.
Ooh, that's a good choice.
Yeah, it had a 12-episode run back in 2017, and it was the one that opened my eyes to the sheer potential of CG anime. It was done by Studio Orange, who is most well known right now for doing Beastars. And it's because of Beastars and the leash that they're attached to by their master Netflix that I don't know if Land of the Lustrous is going to get a continuation anytime soon. Because according to Netflix, Beastars Money Machine go brrrr. And there was a lot of greatness in Land of the Lustrous, not just the animation style, but also the camera direction that was going and the potential that was unleashed with a fully 3D world, especially with like dynamic action scenes, and the smart way that they blend 3D animation with 2D animation when it's required. That keeps it from being too stilted and too low res, if you would say, when for close-ups to their faces. And you see that in Beastars as well.
Yeah.
And you have this wonderful arc of this character, Phosphophilite, who, being a gem organism, they have a decentralized intelligence, kind of like insects, in that if they lose a part of their body, they lose a part of their memory and their personality. And Phosphophilite, her gem type making her very weak, loses a lot of limbs, but has a curious quality where she can fuse with materials of other gem types, which make her stronger, but she's losing parts of herself. And you have this curious mystery of the Lunarians, what they are, what they used to be, and why they're doing what they're doing. And I just wish there was a continuation of it. So, again, with Beastars seeming like it's going to be the main attraction from Studio Orange, I don't know when or if we'll see a continuation of Land of the Lustrous.
Yeah, and that is unfortunate. There isn't any information listed on Mal saying that it's going to get, another season. So that is kind of unfortunate. And that is what a lot of these...
Yeah, and there is certainly more material because it's based on a manga, and the manga is... Well, it goes a lot further. I don't know if it's still ongoing. I believe it's still ongoing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Confirmed, it is.
Confirmed. Yeah, that's a good choice. I actually regret that I didn't say Land of the Lustrous.
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, because then you would have gotten mad.
Yeah, again.
I've used my stando power to take his openings twice. So my next one then, huh?
Yeah.
So my next one is kind of going to have a little bit of an asterisk next to it because it is one of these things that somebody, I'm sure Brad will say, actually. But my next one is Gundam Build Fighters. Now, hold up before you say, but Matt, Gundam Build Fighters Try. But Gundam Build Fighters Try sucked.
But Gundam Build Divers.
But that sucked too. Well, here's my thing.
But Redive.
I want more.
Or Re-Rise. Re-Rise. Yeah, that's what.
But listen here. Here is why I'm saying Gundam Build Fighters. Because I want more of the story of Sei and Reiji.
Yeah.
I don't want the story of the Tri-Fighters I didn't want any of that. I know there's a little bit of OVAs, GM's counterattack and all that kind of gave more resolution to what was going on. And I know tried to do its best in its own way. But honestly, after all of it, getting that sort of 26 or 25 episodes of Gundam Build Fighters, I wanted it to be like a typical sort of Gundam and get 50 episodes because it kind of embodied sort of like what a childish anime is, like what an anime might be for not child, like children, but it had that sort of youthful spirit, that short pants spirit, as the Japanese might call it. Because these two kids were, going against these older adults, and it always started off with them, and a lot of the fights started at them with tremendous disadvantages.
Yeah.
And it was always such an epic, sort of just experience to see them turn it around, which I don't think Try handled in quite the same way. There's a lot of intensity. And it was an enjoyable show that I don't think you needed to watch Gundam at all, because that was my first Gundam that I finished. I didn't know anything about it outside of just that their plastic models are fighting each other. And the fights were intense. The stakes were real. There wasn't a bunch of, you've activated my ET field. You stupid idiot. It was just a bunch of, I used this technique, I dodged it. Well, fuck me then, I guess.
Yeah.
And plus, it's got the top tier waifu of Rinko. Sei's mom, who is in my top 5 waifus. She's so cute. But I just wanted more of that experience that Gundam Build Fighters gave me. I don't think that the other series that I've seen replicated that sort of experience from episode 1 of giving me sort of a yokai watch, of giving me, a Bakugan Battlers vibe, that this was meant for a younger audience, but it could still hold an adult's attention as you saw intense fighting and nuanced sort of characters who are, being led astray, but all framed as these two kids just trying to win a tournament.
Yeah.
So I wanted more tournament. I wanted more of just seeing the fun little dynamic that Sei and Reiji had, and I just wanted more of fucking Ramba.
Yeah.
Because he was just
Dad Baral.
And it was a fun watch, and I don't think, like I said, any of the other series that were meant to be extensions of it, Divers, Try, I just don't think they excelled in the same way that it did. So I would love and it's not going to happen, obviously, because, Gundam don't give a shit anymore. Sunrise is doing their own thing. So I don't think we're ever going to just get more of an extension on that original series that I loved. But while Gurren Lagann, I was content with its ending, I was not content with just the few episodes I got. And I still just clamor and want more. And I mean, I forget the name of the main mech that they used. Oh,
the Build Strike?
Yeah, the Build Strike. That was my first master grade.
Nice.
And I still cherish it because it was such a huge undertaking. It's if you don't even like Gundam, you can watch Build Fighters.
Yeah.
I feel like, because it is such a sort of shonen show that will fucking make you want to buy Gunpla.
Yeah,
it's supposed to.
The biggest Gunpla commercial ever, and it works.
It does. It made me start building Gunpla.
Yeah.
I was like in the middle of building my second master grade, and I said, wait, how did this happen? And I was like, that damn commercial pretending to be an anime. And just asterisk if you want to watch it, which you should. It's on Crunchyroll.
Nice.
Crunchyroll through Verve. Gantz, however, you are going to have to buy Gantz, and I am very sorry.
Oh, shit.
Or use the secret spice, and that's illicit activities.
Let's see. Fucking Land of the Lustrous, you can find it. Ew. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Well, you can find it on High Dive and High Dive through Verve, and you can find it on Amazon Prime.
Yay.
Watch it on Verve, for Christ's sake.
Don't. Treat yourself right.
Treat yourself.
Oh, that's it for me.
As an aside, talking about Gunpla real quick, I just want to say that it is hilarious, the phases that I personally have gone through, considering the different grades of Gunpla. Like, when I started out, I think I used to think that I don't care about the grade. I just want to build the models of my favorite mobile suits. And then I went a little bit into it, building master grades. I'm like, I don't want to build anything less than master grade. I want the size and the quality. And then I'm currently going through the GM Sniper 2, and I'm like, please, just give me a high grade. I just want to build a gunpla and be over with.
Yeah, I like, aside talking about Gundams, the last one I built that was taxing on me was actually from Build Fighters.
Yeah.
And that was the, God, what the fuck was its name?
Was it the Cubily?
No, it wasn't the Cubily. The Cubily's on my desk. The Cubily was fun. It was Shades McGee's, the Exia Amazing.
Exia Amazing.
Yeah, the Exia Amazing was a fucking toll on me for some reason with its... What was it I can't remember the name of the stupid thing the Exia had that they got all their dicks hard for.
Trans Am.
Yeah. Yeah, the fucking Exia Amazing. It broke me. I don't know why, but it just killed my effort.
Yeah.
So that's me.
Each limb for a master grade on that GM Sniper is like it's like a daily activity.
I understand. I remember when I had the Shield Gundam.
Yeah.
And just a tiny little piece that cost $30 to import made me say, I don't think I can do this. The Exia gets a support role, and it gets the assist on what the Shield Gundam, or the Full Armor Gundam, Shield Gundam, what the Full Armor Gundam managed to just absolute kill me with.
Yeah. Anyways, back to our anime we wish we had more of. My next vote is The Royal Tutor. Now I know what you're thinking.
Okay.
Hear me out.
All right, I'm listening.
So The Royal Tutor was a show that I came upon during like one of those Crunchyroll nights where you just hit the random button and watch the first episode of a random anime. And I saw the first episode of this and was surprised at how much I liked it. On its own, I never would have picked this one up just because it looks like a yaoi anime.
It is Fujo bait for sure.
And it definitely baits you into thinking that in the first episode, where the tutor meets all the princes that he has to tutor, and they're like the typical yaoi archetypes. And all four of them are like, welcome, tutor. I hope that we can make your acquaintance and have you enjoy your time here. And then it cuts to like, it's what you think we would say. And they all turn out to be dicks in their own way. And he has to shape them up. And the comedy in the show was so on point. And it had me laughing every episode. And the characters themselves had a surprising amount of depth to them. Not just their idiosyncrasies of why they're terrible princes, but also why they act the way they do, the insecurities they have of being having all these expectations and perhaps not meeting them in some form or another. And I just wish there was more of it, because it came out in 2017 and haven't heard anything about it since. And it's based on a manga that's still ongoing, so there's definitely material out there. And sure, there is a sequel movie, which I haven't seen yet, and I didn't know about until today.
Yeah?
Oh, ooh.
Ooh.
The movie was done by a different studio.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Danger.
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 Actually, I'm reading the description now. This looks like it might be a summarization of the series.
Oh, you hate to see it happen.
You hate to see it happen, Todd. But yeah. So, a show that looks like yaoi bait, but it's not. It's a really good comedy. It has a lot of good characters, and I want to see more of it.
Relatable. You are speaking what I am thinking, but also whenever you like your Fujo bait shows, I'm like, Brad.
Listen, if you ever find like a Fujo bait show on my list, you know there's gotta be a good reason.
I understand. There was some other Fujo bait show. Oh, it was Jeweler Richard.
Yeah, Jeweler Richard also like plays around with that. It's not a yaoi, but it plays around with the whole expectation, and it's really good. I think I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah, I mean, like, you were really hyped on Jeweler Richard and I was just so taken aback because it was when we were doing our first like seasonal stuff, and it was just, here, Brad, take a show, and you said, okay.
Yeah, I picked up Jeweler Richard because it was like taught me some gem stuff, and I was like, that was cool. And I finished, I was like, this is a good show. Yeah, if you find like Yuri stuff on my list and you're like, oh yeah, it's Brad watching some Yuri trash. Oh, Citrus again? Okay. If you find some yaoi stuff, it's gonna be a good reason.
It's gonna be good. Well, I guess that will lead in right to my next one, which is where my quote came from, in case anybody was kind of curious.
I wasn't.
And that is Sket Dance.
What was that?
Sket Dance is a comedy slice of life show about 3 teenagers, Fujisaki Yusuke, Switch Usui, and Hime, who are part of a club called goodness gracious, why am I being so stupid? Called the Sket Brigade. And I know that it sounds like Skeet, and it's one letter away from Skeet, but hear me out. The Sket stands for support, kindness, encouragement, and troubleshoot, which is what they do. They basically go around the school and they help people out. Yeah, I might have tried to. I try to throw this show on everybody because I love it so much.
Yeah.
And it had a weird crossover with Gintama, a Gintama crossover episode, because the mangaka of Sket Dance worked under the Gintama mangaka. So they said, fuck it, let's combine our shows.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about Sket Dance. I don't know how you feel about Japanese comedy, about that Eastern sort of absurdity, that straight man and, that sort of comedy. But Sket Dance does it tremendously well in ways that I think Gintama doesn't even do. And it does that by having grounded characters, actual sort of problems that, like the main character, Yusuke, has kind of a sad backstory, but he's such a happy, just wanting to help everybody out, such a personality. And the stories that they undergo, especially with the revelations about his family life and about sort of the traumas that everybody's going through, like Switch himself has a pretty sad backstory about why he uses a computer to talk. And you would think it's just, haha, funny man talk with computer.
Yeah.
But everything has its reason in Sket Dance, and it's even little support characters have like reasons as to why they're like that. Like there's a character who is super into kendo, and he's so into it that what he does is he just lives that samurai lifestyle, has a top knot, dresses down like a samurai, like a wandering ronin. And it's silly, but then he says about how devoted he is, and it's just, there's such a amount of fun and vigor. And the comedy, I do feel like, like comedy is kind of hit or miss, especially if you're not used to Eastern comedy. Like I love Osamatsu-san, but I'm not going to recommend Osamatsu-san to everybody because they'll be like, I'm not this Japanese to enjoy this ride.
Yeah.
But Sket Dance, I feel like, maintains a good slice of life. It's got engaging sort of episodic stories where you can foreseeably jump into any episode maybe, but not really. Like the Happy Birthday episode if you don't know what's going on, you're going to be destroyed for no reason. And I love this show so much. It is one of my favorite anime of all time. But unfortunately, it ends at 77 episodes. And there's basically what happens is a character finally says something that they've been feeling for a long time about another character. And after basically this happens, And so I'm not going to spoil it for you because I want people to go. And I think people should watch the show. It is tremendous fun. And I rewatch episodes just for the shits and giggles because it does make me laugh. But I think at the end, it just peters out a little bit. And the story's like, we could go on, but we're not. And I read the manga, and fun little story. I actually have some of the manga, but in French.
Oof.
And only because I can read French. I can't speak French that well. I can speak a little bit of French.
Yeah.
I can, but the only way to read it was in French. So I imported a bunch of French copies, and that's how I've got that. But it's really good. It's a really solid slice of life mixed with a wonderful comedy that jumps all over the place from being a help these people out to being a weird tournament arc at one point. And it's just fun, and I love it so much. And I'd like to thank J-Star's Victory Ultimate Versus or whatever it was for turning me onto the show.
Okay.
Well, it was like a fighting game that
Yeah.
had a bunch of Shonen Jump characters in it, and they were all sort of weird characters. Bobobo was a fighter in it.
Nice.
Yeah. And Yusuke, her name's not Orihime. Why did I call her Orihime? Hime and Switch were support characters in it, and they did nothing. They were completely useless. But then I said, but what are these characters from? And then I watched the show, and I loved it.
Nice.
And I wish there was more. I would love it if they just picked it up again and just, if Tatsunoko Productions said, fuck it, fuck the Isekai stuff. We throwing you with some of the funny. But I don't think that's ever going to happen, and I think I'm just going to have to be content with hunting for more French volumes of Sket Dance until then to get the resolution to the Sket Brigade's story. That's me.
All right, here's me. So my next entry is going to be perhaps a controversial one due to its recency, if that's a word.
Yes.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll just make up words if I want to.
Fuck it. You can make the words up you want to.
I can't read. There's no dictionary that can stop me.
Your law. What is a law to a god?
So, my entry is keep your hands off Isaacin. And I know you're saying, that came out this year. There has been enough time for them to make a season 2. And here's why I'm worried. Because this was made by Studio Science Saru, who is concerningly in Netflix's pocket with Devilman Crybaby and Japan Sinks 2020. And, regardless of how good or not good those shows are, it makes me concerned that Netflix is just gonna yank the chain and say, hey, or like poke them with a stick and say, hey, make another anime for us. Get this Isaacin shit out of here. And what's also concerning is that Isaacin concluded with such a beautiful wrap-up bow that they could conceivably just have this be a 12-episode standalone and not have to worry about it being inconclusive, which the manga is ongoing, so there's plenty of material to go with, and I hope that they can make more of it, because Isaacin is one of those meta-analysis anime where it takes a look at the anime production process, and this one looks at it from a extremely indie point of view, and it's a super meta-analysis because it shows you, like, it illustrates the steps in the anime production process with the anime itself. And there are so many different facets in this world with the characters and the environment itself that tack on that message of everything current is built upon what came before, which is a key tenet in the creative process of animation. And that is shown through the different projects they go through in Isaacin. It's like, oh, okay, we have this core idea, we'll work with it. Oh, well, here's some limitations we have to work with those. Oh, here's a new idea that we picked up. Oh, see how we can work that in with things that came before. And seeing the the sheer enthusiasm with Asakusa and Mizusaki, and the wonderful dynamic between those two and Kanamori, who is
best girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the excitement and energy I see with especially Asakusa just inspires me. It fills me with determination to be creative in my own ways with whatever art form I choose to go with in that afternoon. So I want to see more of this unique world explored. I want to see more of these characters like moving up in the world to actually establish and grow their own personalized animation studio, and seeing what challenges they encounter and how they overcome them, and just to see what animations they create.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I completely disregarded Isaacin. I don't know why. Well, like, I didn't diss Isaacin or anything, you know?
Yeah.
I just completely forgot that it had come out this year. It feels like a show that's been around for a while.
I know, it's an instant classic.
Yeah, it has that sort of weight to where I think Isaacin, we're gonna be talking about Isaacin in 5 years, guaranteed.
I will. Even if no one does, I will.
You will be. I mean, I'm gonna be really honest. When the manga comes over here, I'll definitely read it in the store to see where that show came from.
Yeah.
See how they translated it, because that's always something interesting to me, to see like how anime producers and anime teams determine what they're going to, turn into their product.
Yeah.
So that's a good entry. It's a good entry. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. I do feel kind of odd, like putting in a 2020 anime into a 2020 episode of, I wish we had more of this anime. But like I said, there's a lot of reasons why I'm scared that it won't continue.
You would look tremendously stupid if Saru said, new season of Isaac in 2021. This would date the episode so hard.
Oh.
Yeah, it would be awful. Like if, oh my goodness, I hope that it happens. One of your shows gets announced and you'll have to tell Craig, say, Craig, please edit this new one in. And Craig will be like, no, I have spoken, and also I have a term paper due. I don't know. Maybe Craig goes to college. I'm just presuming. Craig goes to college.
I like to think Craig is like self-taught in the art of the world.
Craig learned on the streets, not implying that Craig's a prostitute. Craig, please, I'm just trying to be funny. So, me next?
Yeah.
Okay. Was expecting a biting comment about, do you see anybody else here?
You see anybody else here?
There
we go.
There it be.
So what's yours?
I think this might be on both our lists.
Oh?
If it is, then I think we'll both have to talk about it. But my next pick is Lucky Star.
Hey, yeah!
Hey, yeah!
Nice. Oh, I'm glad we could talk about this one.
Okay, so, like, we both love Lucky Star.
I love Lucky Star. And now, to preface, I understand that it came to a perfect artistic conclusion.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to see more of these characters. I want to see more of these people.
No, that's exactly why I put it on here, because there is more. They go to college eventually.
Yeah.
And so there's more of the manga, and I know the manga is on indefinite hiatus right now, but...
Oh, that's a shame.
It is a shame. But these characters are so lovable, and it's the epitome of moe in my eyes.
Yeah.
And so I can't help but just think that I don't want their world to be closed off to me forever like it is.
Yeah. And it's the premiere show where they're just sitting around. It's a show about nothing, but you feel like you're just sitting there at the table with them, engaging in their conversation.
Yeah, and I love that. And my thing is that this happens with a lot of a lot of properties, you know. There's a character that they have, like Osamatsu-san, actually, you know, that was based off Osamatsu-kun, which was a dead franchise that, you know, was really popular in was an older property. So they revamped it and made Osamatsu-san. You know, they took these characters and flipped them into a new position.
Yeah.
And I think that if there was a way to adapt the new content that we haven't seen, and do sort of like an Osamatsu-san and maybe show these characters as adults in original situations, maintaining that same sort of moe cuteness and sort of sort of criticism on anime and otaku culture, well, that'd be fucking tops.
Oh my goodness, I'm getting a little bit emotional just thinking about that.
I would love it, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I think the time has passed for for Lucky Star to stay relevant. And that sucks because I'd never seen it until we did this podcast, and because I disregarded it as moe trash.
Yeah,
and I thought I was better than it, but I'm not. And I watched it. And the ending hurt me because, like I said earlier, I didn't want the story to be over. I didn't want these characters to have a world that I couldn't be a part of anymore because I just loved them. I loved their conversations, and I got to know them so well. And it hurt. It hurt. Like, it physically fucking hurt.
Yeah, just like we said in our Lucky Star episode, it felt like we became friends with them. Like, we got to know them as friends, and with that high school graduation, it felt like we were, like, they were moving on to places we weren't going to.
Yeah, and that sucked. And
yeah,
I just want more of it. I want it to come back. I know it's probably never going to happen, and that's why it's on my list, because it is one of the shows that I would take away my nut, one of my last nut. I would give it for more Lucky Star.
And like you said, ultimately anime has to give in to the whims of the industry, and the current trends right now are not forgiving to a show like Lucky Star.
Yeah. And, there is always a chance that there could be, we're not in a time, like, there's always going to be innovators who say that maybe I can make this work, or maybe I'll just buck the trend. But I don't think that, I just don't know. I'm not I don't have my ear to the pulse or anything, but I don't think that Lucky Star's been relevant for a long time to anybody, which kind of sucks. Like, to new incoming otaku. Or incoming weebs, I guess, is what they prefer to be called. But Lucky Star deserves more.
Yeah, the biggest stinger is that this was worked on by Kyoto Annie, and it would be an injustice to have anyone else work on this. I don't think they'll be able to do it up 100% the way Kyo Annie would.
No, that Kyo Annie style is just...
Yeah.
You can't put that in a bottle and sell it. But that's it, Lucky Star. I didn't know if that was on your list, but it was on mine, and I was like, I'm going to get the jump on him. So there you go.
Okay, I guess I'll go to mine. And I guess I'll somehow even out, I guess. But
yeah.
So my next one is Devil is a Part-Timer.
Oh, here we go.
Listen, season 2 never, and that hurts.
Yes.
I don't know why, but no one seems to care about this show, and I love it. It's such a ridiculous, stupid concept. It's basically an isekai where they bring, what if a demon king worked at McDonald's? And it's not just like, oh, he works at McDonald's. That's just the setting that he's forced into. This is a real good comedy of these characters from a fantasy world just having to make it in the absolute poverty of just living in like regular modern day Japan. And it's like, we gotta live here until we can build up magic. How do we live here? I gotta get a job. Only job they can get is McDonald's. I can only afford this little 1-bedroom house.
Oof.
This 1-room house. And it's like all these people are coming from the fantasy world, and there's you have the one girl who's like getting involved in all this, who's just the regular, like, oh, I was born and raised here on Earth. I don't know anything about this magic. And you see like the devil, Devil King Sato. Excuse me? I'm looking at the character page for AnyList. Apparently his name is Satan Jacob. Fantastic. Anyway, so Devil King is slowly and inexplicably becoming more accustomed and defendful of this human world instead of like just scaring the shit out of people to get his superpowers and conquering the world and going back home. He's like growing a heart, and it's the like, even though they're mortal enemies, there's like a nice little camaraderie between the Demon King and hero Amelia, and this is just a nice slice of life comedy with the Demon King working at McDonald's. Season 2 never, and I want to see more of it.
Season 2 never. And I feel like I do know a lot of people who love that show.
Yeah. I feel like of any show, it's gonna be like of all shows that are never going to get a season 2, it feels like Devil is a Part-Time is the most season 2 never.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things that always puzzles me about Japan. Why didn't it get a season 2?
Yeah.
Why? Because Fire Force over there is selling like only 100 Blu-rays, but we're currently living in season 2 times. There's David Productions just saying, I'm gonna make y'all like Fire Force.
They're using that JoJo money to do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, just like...
It's like when Sunrise started putting out idol shows with their Gundam money.
Yeah, but then the idol shows actually were big.
Yeah.
I mean...
And now they're making Gundam shows with their idol money.
Well, I mean, like, it shook me when I got a notification. A new episode of Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise is out. Me. Who cares?
I gotta show you later what the Re-Rising Gundam looks like. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it is. Like, personally with me, anytime they go inside of a game, I feel a little bit uninterested.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you why. I love video games, and hell, strap me up and trap me in Stardew Valley, baby. Please, I just want to tend to my cranberries. Also, I've bought Stardew Valley like 6 or 7 times.
But yeah, Studio White Fox, who worked on Devil is a Part-Timer, is working on Goblin Slayer stuff and ReZero stuff. So, I also did Steins Gate Zero.
Yay.
So, yeah, I don't think if there was never a chance that Devil is a Part-Timer getting a season 2, but now there's a negative chance.
Yeah. Oh, a quick little thing I want to put. I don't dislike Steins Gate Zero. I just don't see its purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. So let me just lead up with my next one. Probably another, everyone probably knows this. Ouran High School Host Club.
Oh, okay.
It's one of my all-time favorites. It's perfect comedy. It's perfect deconstruction of that reverse harem genre. It plays up to otome tropes and ridicules them and makes fun of them while being brilliantly and savagely funny. It's got some of my favorite characters. I love Tamaki Suo, and would be totally actually gay for him.
Yeah.
If prospected, I would let him tear up my asshole. And it's also just got so many funny moments, and it's so witty. And I've got it on DVD, and that's how you know I love it. And I just I lament that we didn't get a season 2, because season 1, not spoilers, but kind of spoilers, doesn't end with resolution. It just ends with a major moment for Haruhi and Tamaki.
Yeah.
And it seems like maybe they'll get together. That was kind of a big deal. If somebody did that for me, that definitely signifies that I am in love with them. But instead it plays up to an ending that's kind of just, maybe she'll pick Kyoya or somebody else too. I guess you'll have to decide, instead of committing and saying that she's going to have Tamaki's kid. Which she should. I would. I'd have Tamaki's babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would. But my thing is that it was so funny. It was one of the, and I think why I love it so much is just because I didn't expect it. to hit hard as much as it did. I didn't think I'd enjoy it as much because, again, it was a show that one of my friends put on to get his girlfriend into anime.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "You'll like this. It's girly." And she was not having it at all. But Matt sat there and said, "This is funny. Why don't you like this?
Yeah.
These characters are great. I love everything about it." And it is, I think it's kind of a gateway anime too. I mean, I know a lot of people who've just dove into Ouran and they never looked back. And Ouran's really good. And the unfortunate thing is it's Studio Bones. Yeah, Studio Bones. I'm going to check. Craig, can you hit the fact check on me? Oh, it is Studio Bones.
Okay.
Well, that's never happening.
No, damn.
Not with that My Hero money coming in. I mean, Studio Bones does such a damn good job of everything they do. You know, Mob Psycho 100, Full Metal Alchemist, and, you know, like, you might hate it, but, you know, My Hero is really enjoyable.
Why would people hate it?
I
Has
don't
there
know.
been
I know.
some shenanigans in the latest season?
I think it's kind of. I don't want to make guesses, but I know some people just don't like things because it gets popular.
Yeah. We call them haters.
That might be a factor. I do think that My Hero's got some lacking factors in it, but it's a fun, mindless turn-off show. You just turn your brain off for a second, watch an episode. Characters are interesting. Damn, though, it is about to surpass Full Metal Alchemist in a pure amount of people watching it.
Ooh.
The first season. That's astounding to me. It's never going to beat Full Metal Alchemist's score, though. Hey-o.
I still need to finish that.
You should. It's really good. It's one of my favorite. Brotherhood is, at least. But I don't think Bones is ever going to pick up more. I mean, it's been 14 years.
Yeah.
14 years since Ouran came out. It's never happening. And that sucks. Because I do want more resolution. I do want more humor. And I don't want to have to buy manga to get it. Because it just doesn't always make for a fun read when you've seen the anime first. But there it is. That's it. Ouran.
So, as a disclaimer, Lucky Star was going to be my last show I was going to introduce. And that was planned to like be a nice capstone for my next entry. But looks like we're just going to have to rip this band-aid off.
Neat.
So, my next entry is actually going to be a combination between two anime. And so it's going to be I Wish There Was More of This Genre.
Okay.
So, my next two are Golden Boy and Interspecies Reviewers.
Oh, what the fuck, man?
And that is the tie-in there is hentai with actual plot. And Golden Boy, unfortunately, is never, ever, ever gonna get a continuation. Not only the fact that it's an OVA and that rarely ever has a continuation, but it was made by Studio APPP, who hasn't done a thing since 2007, so they are fucking killed.
Murdered.
But Golden Boy, well, and also Interspecies Reviewers was just too hot for Funimation, so they fucking took it down. I don't think they're ever gonna greenlight another thing called Interspecies Reviewers ever again. And that's just so sad. And Golden Boy was such an adventure that I'm glad the Otaku Host Club introduced it to us, because yes, it was a hint. It was, you could call it ecchi. Yes, Kintaro was fucking horny, but he was such a heart of gold kind of guy that you could not be mad at. And he was such a believable guy that you can believe that he would get in all of these situations and somehow work his way out, either through his dumb luck or like actual knowledgeable skill. And it wasn't like being 1995, it can only do so much in the way of ecchi, but the stuff it did give was tantalizing enough to fulfill your tastes.
I said, yes, fulfill my taste.
Yes, while still having like a solid character and story to make it feel like a legitimate piece of anime and not just like, smut. And Interspecies Reviewers, you will disagree with me, but I say it's the same way. It has...
What?
What do you mean?
What the fuck plot does it have outside of horny? Go do monsters review that show.
Yeah, but it had a continuation story where there were characters you could get along with, and they had like changes from one episode to the next. That's called plot.
Yeah, the amount of venereal diseases they had changed from episode to episode.
Nuh-uh. Fantasy world, magic, whatever.
I am pretty sure that Stunk had at least 5 types of gonorrhea.
I mean, his name is Stunk. What do you expect?
I expect him to be disease riddled.
But yeah, Interspecies Reviewers had such interesting set pieces from episode to episode that could, if I was anyone else, I would be introduced so many new fetishes. And that's not what separates it from like regular smut, from regular hentai, is that it has endearing characters where most hentai have just the girls there, and it has a blank-faced, fill-in-the-blank, like, male stand-in. Whereas these characters, I don't mind them being there. I enjoyed seeing them there and hearing their reviews, hearing their commentary on the situation, and seeing, like, all the characters reacting, like the people reading the reviews, Majory, so on and so forth, the, like, Demon Council, or, the Demon Candidate. And I just wish there was more, like, Giguk, our rival Giguk,
please. Giguk is not our rival. Giguk is obviously destroying every single molecule in our body. That's
yeah.
We have a knife and he's got a nuke, and we're like, I'ma cut you.
Giguk made a video recently about the hentai that made him cry or whatever, and yeah, he was saying that there's a lot of hentai recently that are becoming more story driven, and similar to how a lot more anime is becoming more hentai driven. And I want to see more of that, more hentai brought over into the anime realm where it's hentai but with a plot. In that similar vein of Golden Boy and Interspecies Reviewers. And while Golden Boy will never come back again, Interspecies Reviewers is probably dead in the water, taken out behind the shed, and just bop bop. Yeah, I just wish there was more.
I feel like we'd have a genie and you'd be like, my wish is for more interspecies reviewers, and I would be like, and my wish is that it was never translated. And you would just look at me and we'd have to fight.
Yeah, we would.
My wish is that I had more interspecies reviewers. My wish is that Brad had taste buds in his asshole. So that he could taste shit and understand what it's like. Nah, you entitled to your opinion.
What?
I don't like interspecies reviewers. I have my beef with it. And the fact you gave it a 9 but went, Bakemonogatari is fucking ludicrous.
Well, you know, Galatians 4:16, bitch.
Yeah, you are my enemy. But you haven't told the truth.
You know, I mentioned this in the previous episode that the scores are arbitrary because they're relative to their genre. Like, I'll recommend Bakemonogatari over Interspecies Reviewers, you fucking pleb.
I am not a fucking pleb.
Yes, you are.
You're fucking pleb over there. Like, I want my penis to cry in more than one way.
Yeah.
I just don't. I'm gonna fucking just. I swear, if at the end of the year when we do this whole best shows of this of the best seasonal shows, and you put Interspecies Reviewers at number 1, I am going to go full on meme and punch my laptop until it dies.
You know goddamn well which is going to be the best of the year for me. And if you think otherwise, I'm going to be insulted.
But you say that, but you also would be like, LOL, keck, funny.
I take my anime seriously, you fucking hack.
I am a fucking hack. Speaking of hacks, you know what show is on my next one?
Dot hack sign?
No. Actually, no, I don't. No, thank you. Speaking of hack shows, a show I want more of is C, The Money of Soul and Possibility.
What?
Yeah.
That show put me to sleep.
Yeah, well, you know what? They do say that monkeys wouldn't understand the entertainment of humans. Bada bing, bada boom. And
who got AIDS again?
What now?
Who got AIDS again? Was it the apes or the humans? Oh, that's right.
Well, you know what? I was about to say something that Craig would not edit out.
Go
Craig
ahead and say
wouldn't
it
do
then.
it. I'm not saying it because then you would soundbite it. You would be like, Craig, make that a soundbite so I can play it over and over in Matt's ear. And am I funny yet? Am I funny? Am I funny, Matt? No, you're not funny. And speaking of shows that aren't funny, C, The Money of Soul and Possibility. So C, as Brad has said, is very, very hard on explaining big terms, which is probably what bored him. But it also makes up a lot of shit and doesn't care to explain things that it should explain, which is a problem that I know that people address about it, that it is going too hard, too fast, and that it's not really, maybe it's not rewarding.
I think that was one of the problems I had, that I thought it was going to be a show that would teach me, economics through a battle anime formula. And then it just started making stuff up.
Yeah, it does. I thought it was going to be the same way, too, when I watched it forever ago. It was going to be JoJo stands with waifu and economics.
Yeah.
And it started off kind of that way. The fights kind of started off with, an interesting concept. I think C has such an interesting concept. I love C's, I love Control's, the core concept of it. I love that it's, you're gambling your future and this money that you have is basically your future. And when you run out, you're going to lose something big. And that was so heartbreaking because some of these characters had a lot to risk.
Yeah.
And early on, I was super invested, really invested with everything. And the world itself, it's a beautiful show, I think. It is kind of flashy. It is putting on a lot of spectacle for no reason. But at the end, it doesn't, it doesn't end. Which is really kind of crappy. It does this thing where it's an original premise, so it's not like they were adapting a manga and ran out of content. It was, I don't know how to end my show. So here's the ending. There's more out there, and you're not going to get to see it.
Yeah.
Which infuriates me to no end because I liked the main character. He kind of reminds me of Rental Girlfriend's main character. He's kind of not all there.
Cuck.
You can't just call an anime character a cuck.
Oh, sorry. NTR?
Oh my god, what? I can't believe you just called an anime character a cuck like this is, like we're on a message board or something. And you just went, he a cuck. I'm like, what the fuck? But anyways,
yeah.
I thought the story was interesting. I thought the characters were interesting. I loved the premise of it. And it just kind of sucks that we get this enticing, or at least to me, enticing sort of the journey goes on and he claims more realms. Like, he started in Japan. Just think of what I had this ending. I had this, this imagining that maybe the battles would be different in America,
Yeah.
With hard capitalism. It would be more about, there'd be different battle techniques. There'd be different things that he'd have to risk and wager. Maybe he would have to learn new techniques or something. But no, it just kind of just fell apart. And it didn't really have the biggest resolution that I wanted.
My secret attack. Housing bubble.
Oh no, it popped! And that's something else I think bothered me going through the show is that, and I don't think this is going to be like, this is obviously not a podcast episode where we're recommending shows to you, because I cannot recommend Control to you in all honesty. It's a Matt show.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to like it. But I saw goodness in it, and I wanted more of it. And just what kind of got me the most is that the fight scenes were not there. It was, we're getting ready to fight. And then they, like, especially during this one hype fight in the middle, this guy who is apparently really powerful, the main character, runs at him and is like, we're gonna win. And then it flashes forward to the other guy already lost, which is such a tease.
A freaking blue ball, you might say.
It was a blue ball. It was a mesoflation blue ball.
Ooh.
So it just hated that it didn't go anywhere, and it's obviously never going to get more content. I mean, let's be real. It's not happening, buddy boy. Like, all these other shows might have a little bit of a chance because they at least have some sort of, audience.
Yeah, Devil is a Part-Timer has a better chance than C.
Yeah, C is never getting it. Like, C came out in what, 2011?
Yeah. I mean, for God's sakes, I can't even remember the name right.
Yeah, it's C, the Money of Soul and Possibility,
the Soul of Money
Control.
and Possibility Control.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, Kimimaru, that's his name, Kimimaru.
Ah.
It was a weird name. Yeah, this is never happening. Although it is really popular. It's number 530 on Mal, so I mean, people are watching it, but
yep,
that's
a position.
That is a position. But I don't think it's ever going to get more than what it's gotten. I don't see it happening. And if it does, that would be nice.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Okay, so I have one last one, and I'm kind of nervous because you really screwed me over with that Lucky Star thing. It was going to be Devil is a Part-Timer, then I talk about this one. Then I would go in with the Band-Aid rip, and then I'll capstone with Lucky Star so you wouldn't hate me. But here we go.
Oh boy, I am ready. My body is ready.
Do you want a guess, or you just want to hear it?
Just say it so I can scream into your ear for being stupid.
So I wish I had more of Yurikuma Arashi.
I'm not even mad. Because I saw it coming.
I mean, I feel like that, like, a lot of these shows have been shows that I've just recently seen, and you're just like, are you a goldfish? But what I want to specify with Yurikuma Arashi, I don't want a continuation or a season 2 or anything, because that story is concluded. And if they brought back these characters, then it would just break the impact of the ending. And if they continue the story with other characters, then it would just, muddy the waters. So when I say I want more of Yurikuma Arashi, I want more of a side story. I want something like a spin-off. And there is that dirty connotation with spin-offs that tends to happen, where the spin-off disregards a lot of the plot development of the source material and instead just goes in for like fan service of like these characters and the interactions they had, the development they've had. What I would really love to see from Yurikuma Arashi is just a sort of slice of life show where Kureha, Lulu, and Ginko are just, living together in the same house, developing as like as their own little family. Because with Ginko especially, just how stoic she is throughout the show, how serious she is, and contrast with that of how she is portrayed in the OP, especially at the end, where they're all holding hands together and just seeing how happy Ginko is, which feels like a view into her private life. I want to see more of that. I want to see more of like them being together, like have the events of the show happen even up towards the very, very end where all that spoilerific stuff happens. have all that character development happen, and then continue that with a sort of like a pocket dimension side story where they've all come back from that, they've all have that history, and they're living among their lives as in the happy lives that they deserve. And you can have something like that where you have life sexy, life cool, and life beauty just being like the gargoyles from Hunchback of Notre Dame. They're like doing their own thing in the background. Maybe they're like little chibi characters or whatever.
Okay.
I just want to see more of these three and them being happy together.
I feel you, and I don't, like, I wasn't gonna be like, are you stupid? You only like show you just seen? What big dummy? No, I think that's respectable. I mean, like, you really did seem to enjoy Yurikuma Arashi to a very deep degree.
Yeah.
I mean, I did too, but it wasn't, like, something that I don't think it's gonna be something at whenever we talk about shows again, I'm not gonna say, oh man, remember this show? I'm gonna be like, yep, I saw that show.
Yeah.
It's in my brain, and it'll be gone in a few weeks.
I feel like it's going to be one of those Brad shows. It's not going to be a show I'll recommend to just anyone, but it's going to have a nice place in my little collection.
Understandable. I feel like we all have those shows too.
Yeah.
I mean, there are all shows that, like Sket Dance. I don't think, nobody's talking about Sket Dance. Or I haven't heard anybody talk about Sket Dance in a long time, and I can't recommend it to everybody because a lot of people aren't gonna find it funny. They're not gonna, it's not gonna click for them. But it is a match show.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of other shows that I want to talk about, but I don't want to just bore people with, this show is something I really love. This show is something I really love. But these are the shows that if I had a magic wand, I would, for one thing, I would make it so that I like never got fat whenever I ate like pumpkin scones. But after that, I would make more of these animes.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's a valid point of view. I'm not. Interspecies reviewers fucking rustles me.
I don't know why you're so upset about interspecies reviewers.
Cause it's such a shit show. Like, listen here.
Okay.
I had to watch that on Pornhub.
Yeah.
I should not have to watch anime on Pornhub.
Well, blame Funimation. Don't blame me or the show.
I am not going to blame Funimation. I blame Funimation for a lot of stuff. Actually, you know what? Yeah, fuck Funimation.
Yeah, fuck Funimation.
This has been the episodically, fuck Funimation. Fuck Funimation for hoarding shows and then saying, oh, I don't think I want this, and throwing them away.
Yeah. Welcome to the Otaku Melancholy podcast. Fuck Funimation.
We are what brands would call unsellable.
What if Funimation just decides to block us from their service? It's like, try watching anime now, baby back bitch.
I would welcome Funimation to do that to me. Like, seriously.
Like,
yeah.
Your hate only makes me stronger.
Like, Funimation would even care. They're in Sony's pocket. Sony just... more money than I'll ever see in 200 of my lifetimes. 2,000, 3,000 of my lifetimes. So it's just... fuck Funimation for having a shitty user interface. Fuck Funimation for buying shows and then wussing out on them. Fuck Funimation for being so cozy with Aniplex. They, for some reason, get the better quality of shows that Crunchyroll doesn't get. Fuck Funimation for just, man.
Yeah.
I want anime streaming services to be good.
Yeah.
But they won't let me have that. I mean, Verve's pretty alright, though.
Verve is the best there is, arguably.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with Verve.
I've heard several problems with Verve, but it's more of a personal preference thing. Not so much as far as service.
Yeah.
But yeah, that has been our comprehensive list of shows that we wish we had more of.
Oh, can I throw in just a couple of honorable mentions real quick?
Oh yeah, of course. I think I have some too.
Oh, okay, cool. One show, these are all honorable mentions. I'm not going to get into the reasons why. You're going to be left to speculate and imagine. Monster Musume, I want more of. My Love Story, I want more of. Shirobako, I want more of. Outbreak Company, I want more of. The Gashi Gashi, I want more of. And A Sister's All You Need, for sure.
Let's see, if I had to pick shows I want more of that I don't want to get into. Escaflowne, why not?
Why
I
not?
like Escaflowne. Let's see. Jewel Richard.
Okay.
Wave, listen to me. Well, I'm kind of happy with where it ended up. Nichijou,
Yeah,
I want to see more of Nichijou. Just because I love those characters and the wild antics that they got into.
Yeah. More Nichijou. Let's second Nichijou.
I kind of want to see more of Saint Young Men. But, thinking back on that, that's just me. Like, I can rewatch that.
Yeah, you can rewatch it.
Yeah. I don't think that's it for me.
I want more Suzuka.
Really?
Yeah. I don't want to explain why. I just want more Suzuka, now that I'm thinking about it.
Huh.
Suzuka had Stockholm Syndrome with me. That's just what I'm going to explain. I was captive to it, and I ended up growing to love it because I was its hostage. That's yeah. So, get on that, anime companies.
Yeah, that has been our comprehensive list of shows we want to see more of, as well as our bonus list, our incomprehensible list of shows we want to see more of.
I want more Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Not until you finish your porridge.
You don't want... Oh, goodness. I hope I have a can opener.
And I'm sure everyone has shows that they wish to see more of. And we have shows we wish to see more of that we understand has reached their artistic conclusion. Regardless...
Get in the Discord.
Yeah, regardless, we still want to see more of that. And,
Get in the Discord, at me, tell me what you want to hear.
Yeah, let's have a discussion on it.
Yeah, like an actual discussion. Or post lewds, whatever, I don't care.
And we have been the Otaku Melancholy Podcast. We have been your hosts,
Matt
and Brad. Follow us at our website at otakumelancholy.com, where you can find all our previous episodes and the sites we stream from. And you can also download them on the go. Take them to your work. Take them on the car. Take them to bed with you. Fall asleep to our soothing voice cracks and screams.
Hello. I see you're wearing pajamas.
Good night.
Enchanté to your flannel pants.
You can also go to our website to find our social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Discord.
Shout out to no one.
Yeah, shout out to no one because we record this the same day as our previous episode. So, and it's not impossible for someone to join right now, but not likely.
I'm gonna give you 3 seconds. If you don't join, then I guess you're not in it. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Okay, that's it. Bye-bye.
What if someone joined in those 3 seconds? Would you have lost your shit?
I would have been like, so I have the power of a god.
Oh yeah. Also, something we get to mention: message us on our Discord or email us at otakumelancholypodcast@gmail.com if you want to give us some anime recommendations, shows you want to hear. Also, give us we give you a little shout out if you give us a 5-star review.
Yeah, I will read out your review, and please say discouraging comments to Brad.
Just not too much. I have a wall as tall as the wall in Attack on Titan, but it is as thin as cardboard.
And I act like I'm tough shit, but if you say something bad about me, I will factually cry on the record. I am not kidding. I am very sensitive. But yeah, so as always, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for putting up with us. Thank you for coming back every single week. If you have come back, if you left, then, well, okay. See you later.
And if this is your first episode, then why? I mean, message us in Discord why this was your first episode.
You don't go to the Arrow Mangas and say one though. You're gonna be like, are they talking through toilet paper tubes? But thank you as always for joining us, and as you know, as Aristotle once said, anime is order, and good anime is good order. And that's it. That's show. Bye bye.
Take care.
Ganbate.